Spewing facts all day. Anthony's like, nah, I got the better parlay. Argue about the spread, it's a fierce debate. But when it comes to Wildcats, they align their fate. Blitz the bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums.
All right, guys, the Blitz is back. I'm Charlie Winkle here with Anthony Roberts and Josh Onan. Welcome to the Blitz the Bookie podcast. It is Tuesday, January the 27th, and that means there is only one football game left this season. The Super Bowl is set, and we've got a rematch from the 2015 Super Bowl where famously the Seattle Seahawks on the 1-yard line decide to throw the ball instead of turn around and hand it off to the beast, Marshawn Lynch. And everybody knows Malcolm Butler with the interception at the goal line to seal that game and a 10-point comeback for the Patriots. Just another Super Bowl for Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. And now Seattle's got a chance for their third Super Bowl. And a little bit of revenge against New England. I hope this game is as good as that 2015 Super Bowl. We'll talk about what we saw in the championship games this past weekend, but we're going to save most of our Super Bowl talk for next week. That'll be our Super Bowl preview and predictions. This week, we're just going to have some fun. We're going to celebrate the football season by talking about some of our favorite Super Bowl moments, Super Bowl games, teams from the past. We're just going to have some fun with it. We'll transition into some more college basketball talk here in the next few weeks, but we're going to milk the shit out of this football thing as long as we can. So we're going with another football heavy show. Guys, I'm ready to get into it. How y'all feeling? We finally got out of the house after that Snowmageddon. I don't think it really turned into Snowmageddon. Still a lot of snow, but we're back out. We're moving. I don't think Anthony ever stopped, but here we are again for Blitz the Bookie. How y'all feeling?
Yeah, you're right, Charlie. My wife joked, but I was gone from the house more than I was there. I put some weight in my truck and said, let's go. I enjoy being out in it. I enjoy messing around in it, helping people out. It's always been something I like to do. When it snows, I don't stay in the house. I like getting out in it when it's actually happening. When the snow's coming down, there's a feeling on the roads because nobody's hardly out.
Yeah, there's a feeling slippery.
That's why you put weight in your truck. Yeah. Even when I didn't have four-wheel drive, I used to get out and do it like an idiot in a car. So really kind of sad to see football season come to an end. Super Bowl's here, which is exciting, but that also means we're for a long time before we get back to football. But there'll be some good football news this summer. Excited about the show and talking about some fun memories and some good times throughout the Super Bowl.
So not a lot of snow, but yet I had to be shuttled in.
Couldn't even get down my street.
Couldn't even get to Charlie's house, and hopefully my car's still at the Walgreens when we leave tonight. But yeah, I'm excited.
My street is bad.
Yeah, it's packed in, but yeah, excited and sad at the same time. We've had a lot of fun this season talking to you guys about football. Appreciate you guys listening. We're going to finish up this season strong for you guys.
And so next week, we're going to do our preview of the Super Bowl. And then we actually do have a little surprise for you next week too. But the following week, we're going to milk the football one more time because we're going to look back at all of our preseason predictions for college football and the NFL. And I'm sure that's going to be real fun. I'm going to go back at some point by then. I'm going to find all of our records, and we're going to look at all of our preseason predictions too. So we got a couple more football episodes, and then we'll be heavy into the college basketball. I know people are getting into college basketball, and look, we're watching it right now. The Cats play tonight at 9:00 against Vandy, but football first. So let's get into the conference championship games that we saw this past weekend. We've got a rematch. The Patriots and the Seahawks. I kind of went back and forth these last few weeks, if y'all have been listening, about my thoughts on the Seahawks. And I think it came down to just the fact that they ended up playing the Rams, and my heart would not let me take them against the Rams. But I've said multiple times the last month or month and a half that I think Seattle's probably the best team, and they're just clicking on all cylinders. We'll get into the whole road that New England had to get here, But just initially, guys, what do y'all think about this matchup? Y'all like the matchup that we're going to get in the Super Bowl? I heard a lot of people say, "Oh, the ratings are going to be terrible with whatever
cares?
matchup we get."
It's the
I
Super
kind of
Bowl.
like it. I think
Everybody's gonna
Seattle's
watch
going to be
it.
the best team.
Look,
You got the Patriots.
You got that. Look, I say the same thing everybody else does. Patriots ain't played nobody. They've had a wacky playoff run here. But the big story to me is Drake May, Vrabel up there. Everybody thought he was a good coach. I think most football people did. He was able to go up there in New England. And I feel like the team got better all year. There was continuous improvement from them. And you got the young, is he the next Tom Brady? The young stud, Drake May. His numbers hasn't been great the last 2 weeks, but nobody's has. They played in the snow and pouring rain. The thing for him to do in those games was not make a mistake. But the guy is electric when given the opportunity. And I think it's going to make for a good Super Bowl matchup.
Josh, you like the matchup?
I do. I mean, I always like the Super Bowl. I don't think I've ever really, complained about the matchup of the Super Bowl. I mean, those teams earned it. I know we can talk crap about the road that the Patriots have had.
Oh, we will.
But, I mean, it's the Super Bowl. They had to win the games in front of them, and here we are. And I'm excited to watch it. I've been sitting underneath this damn Patriots sign for 3 weeks because they keep playing. That will not be underneath me next week.
We got to change that out.
we
need a
may
Rams.
have to have it up somewhere, but I'm not sitting underneath the Patriots sign Super Bowl week. As a Colts fan, I can't do it.
We shouldn't even have that motherfucker up. But I agree with what you said because I feel the same way. I had multiple people texting me on Sunday during the second game, the Rams and the Seahawks, saying this Super Bowl is going to suck. The ratings are going to be down. I don't like the I feel exactly the same way. I don't care who plays in the Super Bowl. I'm always going to be watching. It doesn't matter. I mean, I guess the game could end up being a bad game, but it's more of a spectacle. So I'm watching no matter who the matchup is. And I actually kind of like this matchup. I feel the same way, though. Who cares what the matchup is? It's the Super Bowl, right?
I can't
It's
stand
the lead up. It's everything that goes along with it. It's not just the game. I don't care who's playing in the game. I'm watching.
And I can't stand when you talk to somebody when they're like, "Well, I'm not even going to watch this year."
Yeah, right.
You are completely lying. Send me a screenshot of your TV at 6:45 on Super Bowl Sunday and let me know what the hell you're watching.
Let me tell you what's kind of unique about the Super Bowl is that for me, it might not be this way for you. I know your wife watches the games, Shelley, but for me, my wife don't really watch the games. And it's the one game of the year, college or pro, where people that don't watch football watch football. It's an event. It's a party. Yes, there's a lot of sports people out there. But for those people that don't watch the games, I feel like a lot of those people still go to Super Bowl parties. They watch the Super Bowl. They're involved in it. The halftime shows become their favorite thing. I mean, I hate to say that, but for my wife and her mom and, their family, they love the halftime show.
I also got people telling me they're not watching because of Bad Bunny.
I don't believe them.
Yeah.
I don't believe you. I mean,
for one, I don't even know who Bad Bunny is. I couldn't, if he was standing in front of me, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you who he is.
I thought it was a girl. So there you go.
But you know who you are. And I'm pretty sure you listen. He said he's boycotting because of Bad Bunny. I'm not going to call you out by name, but
I think he's the number 1 or number 2 artist in the world.
Is he?
Yes, he really is. People are like, I've never heard of Bad Bunny. Well, he's not. You're not. Then you're obviously not in his demographic.
Well, I'm not. But right. I did ask my buddy, like, what is it with Bad Bunny? Because I honestly don't know. Like, I wasn't trying to be an ass. I was like, what's the deal with Bad Bunny? And I can't even. I could tell you what he said, but I'm not going to. But I'm not sure. Is he a boy? Is he a girl? I don't even know what he is.
He's a boy. And do y'all know?
I'm not
do y'all
sure
know he's actually already performed at the Super Bowl?
Has he?
Yes, he was like a special guest. I can't remember with who. I'll let y'all know on the Super Bowl preview show. But he's actually already been in the Super Bowl performing. He was like the 3rd or 4th, lower tier guy, but he just had like one rap verse. He's done theme songs for, I don't know if it was a WrestleMania or Royal Rumble. He's been on the WWE. He's done theme songs for some of their big pay-per-views.
Well, he doesn't speak English, right?
No, he
that's
does
what. He doesn't even speak any English.
I'll find you a song, and you will. Oh, that's him, because he has a song where he does kind of mumble some English words. So he does have a verse. I'll have to find it because you will 100% know the song.
The reason that people are like that are there, whether you like them or not. I kind of agree. I think it's kind of crazy for a Super Bowl. But the reason those people are there is because they played with controversial people and people hasn't stood up to it. Okay, like it or not, that's what has happened. So they have learned. The Super Bowl people have learned. They'll still watch. They'll still watch. And one thing,
and they think they're going to bring a different demographic too.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Of course.
You
He's
know,
the number one.
doubt.
I think it's Drake and then him for like most streams for him and then Drake.
The thing I've learned, I've always told people, hey, let's boycott this or let's do this. People won't do it with you.
No,
people won't do it with you
because people they want to be entertained. They ain't really worried about the big issues like that.
And I know he's going to have other artists with him. He's going to have somebody else. There's never just been, other than maybe Prince, I don't think there's ever been an artist to just go by themselves. Prince, Michael Jackson, there's always other people involved, especially like the last 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
It's always multiple people.
I don't even pay attention to the halftime show. For one, I usually go outside and get some fresh air, if you know what I mean. That's what I'm usually doing. I'm usually not sitting in front of the TV during the halftime show. Eminem, Dr. Dre, and Snoop Dogg want to come out, I'll probably sit in front of that, or the Rolling Stones or something. I know that's way two ends of the spectrum, but those would be the ones that I'd sit in front of, the Prince or something like that, but we ain't getting that anymore. But I'm not sitting, like, do you guys make sure you watch the whole halftime show? I don't.
I'm pretty locked into the halftime show.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Big bad.
I'm roaming around. I'm eating. I'm getting me some fresh air. I'm refilling my bourbon.
I'm kind of with you, Charlie. I'll definitely be watching it, and I'll have a good time with it. It's probably one of the few games that I'll play where I'm looking for how many yards somebody's rushed for, because there's not that many options. You got one game left, so
we don't talk a lot of gambling, but I'm sure next week we'll probably throw out some prop bets. I think we did that last year. I don't know if we hit any of them, but we'll probably throw out some prop bets. I am not a prop better. But Super Bowl, yes, absolutely. First touchdowns, got to have one. You got to have at least one or two first touchdowns in the Super Bowl. I like those. And I usually bet the coin toss too.
Charlie, you was on the Gatorade for a couple of years, and you was on it.
I hit the Gatorade.
You were getting off the internet or something. And it's he was right like both years.
2 years in a row, I think. All right, so AFC Championship was first on Sunday. The Patriots at Denver, and it started out pretty nice. I mean, it was cold, really cold, brisk day, but sunny. And by the end of the game, it was like a blizzard. Snow everywhere. Nobody could do anything. 10-7 final score. It was a sloppy game. And not only did New England get the backup quarterback, but they benefited from the backup quarterback having to play in the snow, which did help New England. And they come out of there with a win. And no matter what we think of the road or who they played or who they had to face, they got it done on the road against a really good defense and a really good team. I mean, Denver's good. It just didn't work out for them with the circumstances that they were dealt. But
whoever had the lead at halftime, I truly believe that. Like there wasn't going to be no points scored.
The conditions changed so much from the first quarter to the fourth. It was unreal.
I think Denver lost the game when they didn't go for the field goal. They didn't score it. And then New England was able to come down and get a touchdown there and was able to take a 3-point lead into the halftime.
That was big. That was the swing in the game.
Dude,
right? That was it.
I kind of knew, and I feel like everybody else watching knew, there ain't going to be no points scored here. The scoring's over.
He's going to be thinking about that field goal decision for a long, long time.
I mean, that game just fell into New England's strength. Stidham couldn't throw the ball, and New England's got a good rush defense. They weren't moving the ball, and Stidham's favorite play was to drop back 9 more yards than he should have. Just drop straight back. The guy was running for his life, making bad decisions. He should have ran it more. I mean,
I say that about every quarterback, dude.
He took a lot of bad sacks where he should have threw it away and he didn't. And that just comes from not having in-game reps in fucking 2 years.
When he tried to run away from the defenders, he ran straight backwards.
I know.
Multiple times. It wasn't just the one time that he fumbled. He did that a couple times.
It was like when you first play like your son or your nephew or somebody in a football video game, and you blitz him, and he just keeps running backwards because he don't know how to get rid of the ball.
That's exactly what it
was.
It was.
I think that the only offense that Drake May had was there was a flea flicker, which was a good play call.
Great play call.
But that was the only offense he had besides using his legs. To me, in a game like that, if I'm a quarterback, even if I'm not fast, and the guy was not, he has decent speed. I think you got to look for opportunities where you're running as a quarterback. With the way the rules are in today's NFL, I think you got to use your legs as a quarterback.
I give Stidham some credit. That second drive of the game, he drove him right down there, threw a touchdown pass. And I actually thought the Patriots were in trouble because I thought they allowed him to get some early confidence.
Exactly.
A couple good throws on the drive and a touchdown pass. And I really did think that they might have been in some trouble, but everything changed after that first drive. He didn't seem to gain much confidence because when he saw pressure, he didn't know what to do with it. And definitely the conditions changed the game big time. Sean Payton does have to get a little bit of blame because they did know that this weather was coming. I actually had heard early in the day that it was going to be snowing somewhere around kickoff. They knew it was going to snow, and for him to not take those points, knowing that, for one, the weather's coming, for two, I don't care how much confidence you have in a guy, and I'm sure he had plenty of confidence in Stidham, but you got to know what you're dealing with here. And I know your game plan wasn't to let Stidham just air it out. You got to take those points early in the game, knowing that it's about to get nasty. What was the score when he
7-0?
It was set. They were up 7-0, so that would have put them up 10-0.
This is a thing,
and of course they lose 10-7. So, yeah, I think that was a brain fart on Sean Payton's part.
I do agree that it wasn't a good coaching move there, and I think even Sean touched on it afterwards. He said there's always be regrets. And I'll give him that break because I see coaches make mistakes all the time like that. And they love you when you make them right. They hate you when you miss them. I would have took the points. There's no doubt. But I thought Sean Payton coached a really good game. Sometimes I forget how good of a coach that guy is until you sit and watch him. He did everything he could with what he had. I'm sure he'd like to have that one over. But
he took the Warriors to the championship. You ain't seen that movie?
Yes.
I watched it last night. Charlie turned it on last night. The
Kevin James.
Yeah, for one, the worst casting in the history of any movie. I never watched the movie.
I couldn't finish it because of that.
Well, it was actually a decent movie if you could just look past that it was Kevin James, because
that main character.
That is absolutely the worst casting in the history of movies. But I will give that was a decent movie for real. It's kind of a kid's movie. He takes over his son's football team. I guess it's a true story.
Yeah.
But Kevin James is not Sean Payton. But he did take the Warriors to the championship. So hell yeah, he's a good coach. What about Vrabel? Vrabel's a good coach. Vrabel's already got his team in the Super Bowl.
That coach, that team got better all year long. You know, we can say they didn't play nobody, and they did, but they took care of business in a lot of those games too, and they got better all year long. But are we underappreciating them? Because, you know, they haven't put up a lot of offense, but they played probably the three hardest defenses in football. And not only that, but the game strategy probably was to just be conservative. You know,
because all three of those teams with really good defenses had very suspect offenses.
No doubt. Besides Denver, but then without a quarterback, and the weather.
That turned into shit. And then, you know, the Chargers, they got Herbert and they could score some points, but that offensive line was in shambles and he couldn't do anything.
No doubt.
They only scored, 3 points?
No doubt.
So I don't think that we're underselling the Patriots because I think they're really good. I think the same thing I've thought about them and the Broncos and the Bears this year. I've said it all year. I think they're ahead of schedule. But that doesn't mean they're not good. It just means that they're ahead of schedule. And that's a good thing for a young quarterback and a young coach. That's awesome. I wish my freaking team could do some shit like that. So it's not a knock on them. It's just the fact that I think it was going to be another year or two before we saw this out of them. The Patriots, the Broncos, the Bears, those teams are going to get nothing but better in the next few years. And Vrabel is a great coach. We talk about Sean Payton. Vrabel's the man, dude. How about Vrabel in Tennessee had –
Right. I was going to say the same thing.
He had Derrick Henry. He had A.J. Brown.
Wasn't
there another stud on that team?
So Will Levis?
Tannehill was good for a while.
He wasn't bad.
And then they run him out of – he got fired at Tennessee, right?
People are too quick to fire people.
Crazy.
I'm telling you.
Best thing that ever happened to the Patriots was him getting fired. Because
I think that was all the setup. He was ready to go.
Might have been.
He may have quit on the team so he could get the Patriots job.
Might have been. Perfect situation for him, dude. And he's going to coach the Patriots for 20 years.
Yep.
I still think we live in a world where people fire coaches too quick. We live in a microwave society. And as soon as things ain't going good, fire coach. Nobody wants stability no more. Nobody wants coaching stability no more. Some don't. Yeah.
Some don't. I mean, the Steelers,
that's about the only one.
Steelers, the Ravens, they both had coaches for 15 years, something like that. So, but look, those are good organizations. Like,
even in
those
college,
are the ones that keep them.
You don't see it in college no more either.
Yeah, you've still got some. Tom Izzo's been there for shit, he's been there for what, 30 years?
You see it in basketball. You don't see it much in football. The football is just such a big moneymaker for these universities. For most schools besides Kentucky, they're investing a lot more in football than they are basketball. And it's just one of them deals where if you're not producing, we got to get somebody in there that is. Did y'all see that move by Ohio State here this week? Supposedly, Ryan Day hired an assistant, and the assistant, his dad, is worth like $15 billion. And they said Ryan Day's playing chess.
He's playing Monopoly.
That's right. He knew what he was doing. They said the guy was like underqualified and everything, but now he's an assistant coach at Ohio State. And that guy's like a big NIL guy for Ohio State and stuff.
So yeah, Patriots 10-7 move on to their, 20th Super Bowl in the last 30 years. I mean, my team had the best quarterback in the history of the NFL, and we ain't been good in 30 fucking years since then. And since then, they now have the best quarterback in the history of football. And he's went through 20 years and 7 Super Bowls, however many he's got. And now they're already back in another one. I can't get in a fucking playoff game. Can Robert Kraft buy the Miami Dolphins, please?
I think some people can fall into shit and come out dipped and go, dude. I'm telling you, I think some of it just comes down to dumb luck. Some organizations are not
dumb luck, dude.
Some
New
of
England's
it
just
is
a well-run organization. Now they're making the right moves.
Dude. They are. I'm not saying
they're hiring the right guys. They're drafting the right guys. Their owner cares about actually winning. Some of these owners are shit.
Yeah, but
we got one in Miami.
But there's a salary cap in NFL. Everybody's pretty much spending the same amount of money. But don't be wrong. I agree with what you're saying. I really do, because there are some people that are better than others at drafting. But I do think some of drafting comes down to luck.
Drafting does, yeah. Drafting definitely. I think that's what some luck.
I really think that's where the NFL is won now, is in the draft. I think more so than ever, being able to draft well. I think that's the key to success in the NFL. It's not the only thing, but I think it's the most major thing in the NFL right now is drafting well.
Now, real quick, you talk about, fall into a bucket of shit, come out smelling like a rose. I got a little story here. I've listened to a lot of radio in my day. I used to be a big Dan Patrick guy back in the day. And this was probably, I'll never forget this story on the radio. So this was probably 2000. No, it's probably 2001, 2002. The Saints play a regular season football game. And they go in last play of the game, they throw a Hail Mary, score. And it was a big game, and they miss the extra point and lose the game. No chance at the playoffs now. And it was the Saints back when people wore the hit bags over their head.
Yeah.
The Dan Patrick Show brought in the guy who did the radio call from the Saints or something. May have been, or maybe it was just a random fan. But this guy calls in. This is on live radio. He goes, that's just the life of a Saints fan. He goes, we could fall into a bucket full of titties and come out sucking on our thumbs. And Dan Patrick goes, hold up. First, can we say bucket full of titties on the radio? And 2, where do we find such a bucket?
That's great.
One of the best. I'll take that story to the grave. That was on the freaking radio.
That's awesome.
Some people do, man. Some people catch a lot of breaks.
All right. So then we had Rams against the Seahawks, and a little bit more scoring than we saw in the first one. Of course, the Ravens are back. Yeah, much better game offensively here. Much better game overall. The first game was a slop show. This game here turned out just like the other 2 matchups. Great game, 31-27. Seattle gets out of there with the win. Both quarterbacks played great. We can talk about what we think it came down to, but I feel like it was the one big mistake. What do y'all think? I mean, the muff punt.
Yeah.
Punt.
No,
that was it.
That was it.
It's hard to say a game is dictated by one play, but
it was a good game.
Play, that was the beginning of the third quarter. But I mean, when you look back on the game, that was the one that will really, really hurt.
It's the most memorable play of the game.
It is.
Not to change the subject, but I'm sitting here watching Nebraska-Michigan game. Nebraska is stone cold, son. They hit everything they throw up.
Athletes, dude, they got athletes all over the court, Anthony.
They got 50 points with 2 minutes to go.
Dude, they hit everything they throw up. Off balance, coming around. I mean, everything.
Getting disrespected in this game.
I think
undefeated, 20-0.
I just watched a Nebraska player early in the shot clock throw up a 3 like this and just hit it.
Yeah, they've been hitting threes in people's face off first half.
Look, Charlie, I'm telling you, I don't know if you see it like this. He threw it up like this early in the shot clock and hit it.
Nebraska's some athletes, Anthony. You're
Yeah.
very, very respect them.
Oh, I like them. I've had
respect their athleticism.
I've had them. I've never seen nobody hit this many shots. There's some shooters.
20-0 and I think 12-point underdogs.
That
here.
dude looks like a shooter. You don't even want to show off his arms here.
He looks like a shooter, all right. All right. So yeah, besides the muff punt, I know we talked about that 50-second drive at the end of the first half. That definitely was a swing too, because that put them up 11, right before halftime.
Yep.
And it was what, a 4-point game.
That was,
so
we talked about it. That was the keys of the game, in my opinion, was right before half, the 50-second drive. They gave up a touchdown. You can only give up a field goal there. If you want to give up a field goal with 75 yards with 50 seconds, that's one thing. You cannot give up a touchdown there. And then right out of halftime, the muff punt, put the Rams down by 11. I actually thought the Rams slightly outplayed them, but it was a hell of a game.
See, it was a shootout right after that, because the Rams come back and then Seattle scored a touchdown. Rams come back, score another touchdown. So it was a shootout after that. But you just look back and think, man, if not for the muff punt, what would have happened?
And then what about that dropped pass by the tight end?
Oh, that was big, dude. That was big.
Short.
And he's had such a good postseason. He has such a good postseason.
If you go back and watch the replay, I think that linebacker, whoever was kind of guarding him, I think his hand might have got not in the path of the ball, but in the path of his vision.
I told Anthony the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, I thought
that's the only reason he could have not caught that. I think
thought
he
it
kind of
got
just
tipped.
lost it.
I didn't think that guy dropped nothing. I thought
Right.
that big dude, like everything that hit his hands. I mean, he's been so big in the playoffs for them.
I think he either, like you said, the defender's hands got in his vision, or mentally he might have just been thinking that it was going to get tipped or something.
Yeah, either one of those.
I know the announcer said he would have walked in the end zone.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he would have walked
all
in.
the way. He'd been at the 4, 5, 6 yard line.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it would have been first and goal from definitely around the 5 or maybe even closer. But still, that was a huge drop.
Has that guy been good for multiple years, or is he like a new thing?
Who was that?
Parkinson. His name. He's a beast, dude. He's
That's
amazing. He's the one that caught that big pass against Chicago.
Game-winning touchdown a couple weeks ago.
Dude, he's a large human being. He's good. I like the dude a lot. I had him over some yards, and it panned out, but as good as playoff as he had, and he had a great playoff. I don't think the Rams are where they are without him.
He had 3 for 62 in that game, but that one, man.
You could tell it bothered him too. When Puka dropped one a few weeks back, you could see it in their face. Like guys that are sure-handed like that drop it, they take it hard. Guys that drop passes all the time, I feel like they're used to it.
I'll tell you who came up with a big one in this game. Was Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, he did.
There was a huge, was it third or maybe even
that
fourth
was
down?
a third down.
That was a huge third down.
The guy played pretty good defense.
It was
barely
missed it. Really good defense.
Barely missed it.
Damn, perfect defense, actually. A great catch by Cooper Kupp.
That was a big play.
That was a huge play.
McVay wanted to challenge that, but the ref told him not to. I was kind of hearing something on the radio about
I don't think
that.
he should have challenged it. It's one of them deals
you could break, how they break it down to 1 million frames per second.
That's the
call
one
on
where
the field.
He had already called a timeout. If he would have challenged and lost,
he would have lost another timeout.
He would have lost 2 timeouts on that play.
Right.
And I think that was the reason that he actually didn't, because he was already forced to call the timeout to give himself a little bit more time to think about his decision. I think that's might have been why. Did the ref give him a heads up on not to?
I thought that's what someone said.
It might have.
Said the ref said,
it might have been a deal where, like, hey, if you do this, you're going to lose a second timeout.
And that changed his mind.
Yeah, I do think that changed
the call on it's one of them deals.
It wasn't going to get overturned.
This is what makes me upset, and I'll talk to you about it some, Charlie. It's one of those deals where I don't like it when the people upstairs, and it seemed like that's what they were doing this weekend, like make the calls. Because that line judges come in, you need to be able to mark that ball where you think it is, because a lot of times it comes down to whatever the call was on the field. When something's super close, it's going to go to whatever the call on the field was. Like, that's just part of the rules. It's got to be undisputable video evidence. So when something's almost 50-50, like you could call it either way, and there are some of those plays, then the call on the field matters. And I forget what play it was.
It was a quarterback sneak in the Denver game.
And both line judges came in, and it was going to be short.
Yeah,
you could see
it was Drake May doing a quarterback sneak. That's what it was.
And you heard, and like Charlie said, it was almost like somebody was looking at the overhead and told them, hey, give them the first down on it, because both officials came in and said they were just short.
Both line judges come in, and their march was going to be short.
Both of them, not just one.
Like I said, like I told you, I think the head referee has an earpiece in, and during that scrum and everybody trying to get up, he's got probably 5 or 10 seconds of leeway. And I think upstairs or New York or whoever it is calling the call into their ear.
That's not right, though. That's not right because I think the play on the field matters when it comes back to undisputable video evidence.
Well, they at least got to let the line judge be the one that spots the ball.
And why don't they measure? Why don't hardly they ever measure anymore? You see very few measures in the NFL no more.
Well, they're trying to phase that out and do the whole virtual measurement. But the virtual measurement is bullshit. It's not a virtual measurement. It's where they put the ball down, and then they just got a graphic that they show you on the screen. It's not a true. And
it's
I
like
talked they got to put a chip in the ball.
Yeah, there's no chip in the ball.
Put
People
a chip
probably
in the
think that.
fucking ball. And then even if there's a scrum and you can't see it from any angle, the chip will tell us where the ball was at.
Charlie,
I don't understand how that's so fucking hard.
Because then they can't cheat, Bub. You're
right.
No, seriously. No, I'm dead
You're
serious.
right. You're right.
Then they can't cheat.
You're right. When they came up, they said they were going to start doing this virtual measurement at the beginning of this year. I thought it was what I've been talking about for years, and it's not. That virtual measurement's bullshit.
Why wouldn't they do a chip? I mean, because they can't cheat. Like that don't give them. They need to have angles. I really thought what makes Seattle so tough. I've talked to a few people about it. I've even touched with you guys a little bit on it, but I think it's the ability. They got some great receivers. Darnold's playing good. But Darnold, everybody knows Darnold don't like pressure. But I think the reason they're able to keep pressure off from him and he's able to get rid of it when he needs to, I think it comes down to Kenneth Walker. His ability to run the ball, and he's so good out of the backfield as a receiver. I just think he is the X factor for Seattle. I really do. And
They got a lot of X factors.
They do.
That offensive line.
But Darnold
and Jigba is damn near the best receiver this year.
But Darnold don't like pressure. That's the one thing. But
he don't get a lot.
That's what I'm saying. But I think a lot of it is because he can run it, and when it ain't there, he can dump it off to Kenneth Walker. There's not a lot of great receiving running backs out there. I mean, you got McCaffrey, you got a couple more, but a lot of them are good running backs, but they're not good receiving running backs. I don't know what Walker had in that game, but I bet you had
49.
4 for 49.
Yep.
Yeah, the dude's a weapon out of the backfield. Like you said, they got plenty of weapons, but I think he's kind of the piece they got that don't allow you just to line up in a pass rush and go after Darnold. Because if you do that, then either they can run it. You don't want to have a pass rush on against a good running team. And then B, even if you do get pressure, he can dump it off to Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, here's some Matt Stafford stats. In his 2 losses against the Seahawks this year, he was 51 for 84, 831 yards and 6 TDs in 2 games, and he took a loss. And then I found another stat yesterday. In his last 3 playoff losses with the Rams, in 2023, 367 yards, 2 TDs, no picks. 2024, 324 yards, 2 TDs, no picks. And then last year, 374, 3 TDs, 0 interceptions.
Yeah, I told Casey with about 4 minutes left in the game, I said, if they lose this game, it ain't going to be Matt Stafford that loses the game. Now, he did miss a couple throws on the last drive. It wasn't terrible, but they didn't lose the game because of Matt Stafford.
They said if quarterbacks with over 320 yards and 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in the NFL playoffs all time are 34-11. Stafford has 27% of those losses.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
37-11, and he's got, 3 of them?
Yep.
I am a Stafford guy, but I will say this. He did lose a game where he had an awesome game, but he won a game last week where he didn't have such an awesome game. So he got one back there. But the Rams just don't – they got Puka, that tight end's coming around, but they don't have the offensive weapons and balance that Seattle has.
No, they're very
just
balanced.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah, Seattle's as balanced as they get, and Seattle tough to handle right now.
The USC, where Sam Darnold went to college, 26 quarterbacks have been drafted to NFL coming out of USC. Sam Darnold's the first one to ever make the Super Bowl.
Wow. And I saw Sam Darnold's draft class, if you look at it, was like Lamar Jackson's year. Who else was it?
Zach Wilson, was it? Was that Zach Wilson?
No. Who was the number 1 pick that year? I don't know why I brought it up when I can't freaking remember. But I know it was Lamar Jackson, and there was 2 or 3 other quarterbacks that you would look at as better than Sam Darnold, and none of them have been to a Super Bowl. Sam Darnold's the first one out of that draft class.
Josh Allen was in it.
2018.
Right? Oh, yeah, Josh Allen. Josh Allen and Lamar.
Baker
was the number 1 pick. Yep, Baker was the number 1 pick, and Josh Allen and Lamar both that year.
That's a pretty good quarterback.
Sam Darnold. Made it there before Lamar, made it there before Josh Allen. So
I thought Darnold was going to be good out of college.
I
And then he
liked him.
went
He's
to the
big,
Jets.
big kid.
Yeah.
I liked him at USC.
Yeah.
do not go to the Jets. Do not go to the Jets.
I'm telling you, if I was somebody, I'd give Zach Wilson a chance, dude. I don't know if he's good, but it seems like, everybody else has had success leaving there. So
Yeah, they ain't even giving him a shot this year. He's down in Miami, and they gave Quinn Ewers a shot before him. But I don't disagree. You get thrown to the Wolves in New York for a couple years, and everybody thinks you suck. You might not suck.
yeah, I mean, even another New York team with Barkley and Jones. Maybe it's just all the New York teams.
All right, well, that is the Super Bowl matchup. Again, we'll get more into our thoughts on the actual game and our picks and predictions next week.
Drake May Nation, baby. Drake May Nation.
I know y'all heard the curse of the chain. I know a Seahawks fan, my brother. I think I might have to wear the Seahawks chain.
He wore the chain this week, though, didn't he?
Yeah. He's on the train chain.
Yeah, he's
Or the
right.
chain train,
He
Rocks
rocks the chain.
Yep.
He's got him a light up chain. We're gonna have to get that on. Yeah, we'll have to get that on the podcast next week. All right. So speaking of Super Bowls, for one, I think that we might have talked about this last year. I can't remember, but Josh, you weren't here last year for our Super Bowl episode, so I will ask you and Anthony again, just in case this was a conversation we didn't have. I can't remember, but first Super Bowl that you can remember as a kid.
Bengals 49ers.
Bengals 49ers. I think that might be mine.
Yeah. And we're same age. We're both about 7 years old.
What was that,
Or
88?
was there
89.
89?
Who was Denver? Who did Denver play? Was there?
They played
the
Denver.
Giants and Bills was 91 or 92, I think.
Denver played the 49ers in 90.
Okay. I definitely remember. I think that one is the first one
Boomer,
I remember
baby.
too.
Yeah.
Boomer is house.
Boomer and Icky Woods.
Yep.
Again, San Francisco busted that ass, didn't they?
Yeah, the Icky Shuffle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
The
think
NFC always busted ass back then.
Yeah.
pretty sure that's the first one I remember. Josh, what do you think?
That's-
You're about 2 years older than us.
Yeah, but that was probably the first one I remember too.
That one?
Yeah. The probably the one I have the best memory of, like, actually remembering the game.
You know what? Oh, I take that back, because I do remember the Super Bowl shuffle. I do remember Jim McMahon and that
I don't
group.
remember
I
that.
do.
I don't know if you
What
were
year
only
is
like
it?
3.
Dude, my grandparents were bookies, son. I was like,
I definitely don't remember that.
I mean,
I was
What
a
was
kid.
that, 83?
Dude, I was a kid
85,
watching the
85.
Dude, I was a
85,
kid watching the games. Literally, like, I grew up around it. It was on at my grandma's house, and that's where I stayed. So
yeah,
I mean,
I remember. I was 5 or 6, with the '85 Bears. And I remember that whole hype and all that, just vaguely. But they played it so much from probably '85 to '90.
okay, maybe that's what it was. I remember
then-
all that. I do.
The thing about the 49ers and Bengals, I remember the game. I can remember all that, but the game that I can remember watching and what happened was 91 Giants and the Bills. The Bills' first time in the Super Bowl of the 4 in a row that they went to, with Phil Simms.
I remember all those.
You had Phil Simms. You had the Bills with Thurman Thomas.
The missed kick.
The missed field goal by the Bills.
Andre Reed.
Yeah, wide right. So that's the game I probably remember the most as a young football fan.
Bills went to the Super Bowl like 100 times in a row.
They lost to
lost to everybody.
It was the Giants.
They lost to everybody.
It was a 4 or 5. It was 4.
Washington, the 49ers, the
And then
Cowboys.
twice.
Yeah.
See, the Broncos did play the year before, which was 88. I lived in Maryland, so there was a lot of Redskins fans. I want to say actually the first one I remember might have been 88. The Redskins and the Broncos. I had a feeling it was the Broncos, but you're right. The Broncos actually played the 49ers the next year in 90 after the Bengals and 49ers. But I definitely remember the next one, San Francisco and Cincinnati, going out at halftime, playing football in the front yard, pretending to be
Boomer
Icky,
Esiason.
Boomer and Icky. I'm not even joking.
I was Joe, son. Joe was my hero.
And then, like you said, you got all the 4 Buffalo in a row, which was 91 through 94. I remember all of those. What'd y'all do when y'all were a kid around that time, 90? Were y'all watching it at home? Did y'all's parents go to Super Bowl parties?
At my grandma's.
Yeah, we'd be at parties.
Yeah.
We'd always go to parties, or we actually had the party sometimes at mom and dad's.
Yeah, we always went to a party when I was young.
I was always at my grandma's. She'd cook me a frozen pizza. I'd be in front of the space heater. It was good times. They booked bets, so they'd get the bets in. I would pull for who I wanted to pull for. Well, they didn't make me pull for whoever they had the most money on at that point. So.
I always wanted to be, when I was younger, the first team I kind of liked was the Bengals, but I hated their helmets.
Oh,
really?
I love the helmets.
Their helmets are awesome.
They're the best helmets in football.
Do you still hate their helmets?
Yes.
Really?
Dude,
I did not like.
I'm not even a Bengals fan, and I love their
best helmets in football, hands down.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's close.
The Dolphins' old ones are the best.
And another thing, then for a long time, they weren't good. And that was back, pre-cable days. So they were always on. So you had to watch them. And then when Jim Harbaugh got to the Colts, I liked the run that he kind of went on with Marshall Faulk in 93 or 94. And that's how I became a Colts fan. But yeah, I wanted to be a Bengals fan, but I hated their helmets.
That's crazy. That's crazy sauce, ain't it, Anthony? Their helmets are fucking awesome.
Like Charlie says, the old Miami, and I like those. I don't even think they're close. I think the Bengals got the hell. Even the new white and black ones they got. We seen that
the
shit.
white and black
They're freaking killer.
I do like the white and black ones.
Yeah, the white and black
But the
ones
orange
are
and
slick.
black, I never liked. I mean, I had a Boomer Esiason and a Ickey Woods starting lineup, but I could never buy their gear. I was like, I can't get their gear, so I can't be their fan.
See, everybody I knew, or at least I was, 49ers, man.
Oh, yeah.
49ers, baby. They had all the players.
Yeah, Jerry Rice, Roger
That was
Craig.
pre-salary cap. They had all the players, man.
Did y'all have any gear like jersey? Because I can remember as a kid, I had a Deion Sanders jersey, Falcons one, 21 jersey. I actually had a Troy Aikman jersey, probably at like 12 years old. I don't know why I got a couple random jerseys like that, but did y'all have any?
I didn't have a lot
gear of any other players back when we were kids. For some reason, I don't know why I had Troy Aikman jersey, but I did. I didn't even really like the Cowboys.
Did y'all ever had any of those pants, the crazy pants, MC Hammer
The
pants?
No,
Yes, I had them 49ers, yes.
49ers?
But I'll be honest with you, I didn't have a lot of the extra stuff because any extra money I got was going towards ball cards, baby. Like I was addicted to ball cards.
I didn't have the crazy pants. Did you have any, Josh?
No.
Oh, they were hot for a while.
I had some, but I didn't have like the crazy looking ones. I had like some Hammer pants, but
Not
I
the
didn't
team
have.
ones?
You didn't have
the
those?
team
Oh,
ones.
I want a pair of those. Like right now, I just forgot about them. I want a pair.
You could probably find them.
Yeah, they're all Amazon's got everything.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't have.
Wear them next week for our
Dude, I will. If I could get
Super
them, I
Bowl
will straight
episode.
wear them. That will be like a throwback for me because I remember having the 49er ones. Do y'all remember getting the pencils out of the school?
Oh, the pencils were awesome.
Hardest one to get was the 49ers.
You had to have the pencils.
I would buy the whole pack.
Yeah,
I tried
buy
to
the
get
pack.
You get every team.
And don't
NFC or AFC.
pencil fight with those.
They're weak.
ones.
They're bad. They're not good.
Yeah. Plus, you didn't want to break them.
No, they were weak.
No.
They were rubber. Remember the Pentex? The Pentex were the best.
Mm-hmm.
The starter jackets. What starter jackets did y'all have?
49ers.
I had the Hornets one, the classic Hornets.
I had Kentucky.
Hornets was for non-sports fans. That's for people. I used to look at the Hornets and I used to like, that motherfucker don't even like sports, dude. He just fucking
It was
likes
hot in the 90s, though.
Dude,
It was
I had the Larry Johnson Converse.
Well, the look of it was.
I had those.
I
with the
feel like
React juice
yeah.
in the
Yeah, I
back.
had those,
Yeah.
dude. I ain't even thought about those.
it was the
in
most
years.
popular one. It was the most
Reacts.
Yeah, but I felt
Didn't
like
they have like a strap that went over the top of them
There was
that could come off?
the second pair did. The first pair didn't. But the ones you had, mine were just all black, and it had like the little green juice in the back. Do you remember that?
I do remember
Yeah.
that.
But
But
yeah,
I feel
the
like
ones
the
I
ones
had
I had like
Yeah,
a
I know which
strap
ones,
that you
'cause
could remove it.
They were teal and purple like the Hornets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I felt like it was the most popular, hands down the most popular. But I felt like so many people liked it because of the colors of them.
Oh,
there was a few of them that were hot.
I
Which
liked
was the
Larry Johnson.
What was the hottest starter jackets back in the day?
49ers or Cowboys?
I mean, I think honestly,
no.
the
the Hornets. Yeah,
the Magic.
Yeah,
the
with Shaq.
Bulls.
Oh, I had after my I grew out of my
We're missing one. The Hurricanes.
I got
It's the Hornets
because I had it. I didn't get the starter one. I bought like the.
It's the Hornets.
We're missing somebody. The
Yeah,
Hornets
I
is
got
one.
it. I know what it is.
Who?
It's the Mighty Ducks. When they first came out,
The Anaheim Mighty
when they
Ducks.
first
That
came
was a
out,
hot one.
They had the mask.
That was
with
a hot
like
one.
the bill.
The Sharks kind of were too.
San
The
Jose
Sharks were.
Yep.
I don't
Bulls,
think
I think
the
the
Bulls one
Hornets-
was hot. My brother had the Bulls.
I
one.
think the
My brother
Hornets
was
one
hot.
probably was.
number one. I think hands
The Hornets
down.
probably was. I still feel like we're maybe missing one.
Because there was people
was
that
a
I
big
knew
one.
that weren't even big sports fans, but they'd have the Hornets one.
Mhm.
Yeah, the Hornets was big. The Hurricanes was there. It was big there for a little bit.
Yeah. Miami. Yeah, the U.
I never had an NFL
I think
starter jacket though. I had 2 Kentucky ones. I had the pullover. I think I still got that one. And I actually had the zip up one that was longer, like heavier jacket Kentucky one. And I had that same one, the Orlando Magic one, the first year that Shaq got there.
Yeah.
I never had an NFL one. I never had a
neither.
Dolphins one.
No, I had that. I was going to wear it tonight, but it's kind of puffy and weird. I have a Colts starter pullover.
Here's the list.
You got a starter jacket,
No,
Anthony?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't.
Yeah, I got a starter.
We have a starter jacket
I have a
episode.
starter pullover. I bought that thing in like '93, and it still freaking fits. That's how big we wore our shit.
I remember the one. I remember the Penn State one.
Yeah,
that Chad had,
the all-white
one.
Here's a list I said popular. Charlotte Hornets #1, Bulls #2,
Miami Heat,
the Raiders #3,
Raiders. That was a big one.
Cowboys 4, Miami Dolphins 5, Orlando Magic 6.
Yeah, I didn't have any.
See, I'd put the Hurricanes over the Dolphins.
See, I didn't have any NFL jerseys growing up, but I had a ton of NBA jerseys because we would go up to Massachusetts in the summers, and my cousins lived like on the way there. They had a Champion outlet, so you could go there and you could get jerseys for like $7. So I had a Patrick Ewing USA jersey.
There we go.
I had a Kevin Johnson on the Suns jersey. I had 2 David Robinson jerseys, the same one, but they were only like $7, so we got them both. Chad had the Jordan. We had the Pippins. Gosh, who else? Muggsy. I think Travis had a Muggsy Bogues one.
Did you share clothes with your brothers growing up? Because
not really.
Okay, I never had a brother that age, so I don't
they
know.
could have. They're all about the same size.
Yeah, we are now. But then Chad was really small when we were young.
Yeah, he was.
I was never a big kid, but Chad was a little dude back in the day. So, but he wore shit so big, but we really never.
We grew up in the '90s, boy. We wore our shit 3 sizes too big.
I'm 120 pounds heavier than I was in the 7th grade when I got that starter jacket. It still fits.
You can still fit in it. That's crazy how the way we used to wear our shit. I was watching some Kentucky highlights last night, actually. John Wall, the shorts that they were wearing that year with John Wall and Bledsoe.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's so different now that the kids, they want all the short shorts. That's the thing with the boys now.
I think the big ones are starting to come back in. The short shorts, I feel like, are starting to go out. The last few years, though, you're right. Some of them guys, they started pulling their shorts up real short.
I kind of like the short shorts, though. I get it because, the short shorts were popular in the 80s before we kind of got to
those wasn't short shorts. Those were fucking nut huggers, dude.
The John Stockton,
dude. Those were legit, like right here. Those ain't short shorts. Those should be illegal, dog.
I kind of like the short shorts.
Dude, them fucking nuts.
Not like that. I'm with you. They were bad. They were bad,
dog. Like the ones, I seen pictures of my dad when he was like a kid and in high school. How did they even wear that?
They were trying to show skin. I seen the shirt of my dad. His shirt was cut off and shit. Like, God, dude.
Shit, I don't understand how they ever wore them shorts like that.
But then I look at some of the big clothes we wore, and it was like, dude, why do we wear that shit for? Like,
a little happy medium. Let's just wear some shorts that fit.
Yeah.
Y'all got like a favorite Super Bowl memory?
Favorite Super Bowl
sticks
memory?
Out to you?
Man, I'm not going to say it's my favorite, but just when you say Super Bowl memory, the very first thing that popped into my head, Leon Lett.
Oh, yeah.
The thing,
I don't know why that's the first thing, but Leon Lett and the boneheaded, he tried to dance before. They had like a 50-yard run.
And Don Beebe.
And they were getting blown out.
Yeah.
They were down by like 30. I forgot what the score was. There was no reason Don Beebe needed to do that. Give that dude mad props for chasing him down.
Yep.
But I don't know why, but that's the first thing that pops into my head when you just say Super Bowl moment, Leon freaking Lett.
The thing that comes to my mind from my childhood is Blowout City. We didn't have many good Super Bowls, dude. We didn't. There were so many years of just like lopsided Super Bowls. I'm not saying there wasn't none because there was.
Yeah, the Cowboys blew a lot of people out.
That's pre-salary cap. It was
San Francisco ran the Chargers out by like 40-something.
The NFC Championship used to be the Super Bowl. Let's be honest about it. It used to be the Super Bowl. I think the salary cap was the best thing the NFL ever did. Mm-hmm. That's what I think Major League Baseball needs to do. Yeah. I think college football needs to do, as crazy as that sounds. Look, you're trying to grow the sport. You're trying to keep the popularity up. You want parity. Like, that makes for the best sports, right? When other teams can be good. Yeah. I think Major League Baseball needs salary cap in the worst way. I know there's powers that are against it, and, the players association and stuff like that. But I think for the good of the sport, a salary cap would be great.
Other than, my Colts won in 2007, beating the Bears. But probably a memory that I always remember, and it was, I was relatively old, 19, 20, 21, I guess. The end of the Titans-Rams.
Oh, yeah, I remember that
Great one.
And he reaches,
Kevin
just short.
Dyson.
Yeah,
Kevin Dyson.
Steve Air McNair, baby.
I mean, and him just that reach,
R.I.P. Steve McNair.
trying to reach over, and that was just a great moment in the game. That kind of really started like the close Super Bowls.
I agree with that. I agree.
After that, they're like maybe the NFL started scripting a little more. It's like, man, this is a lot more fun when the games are closer.
Yeah, it wasn't long after that the Patriots got on their run. They beat the Rams. That in that Super Bowl was that.
People didn't give the Titans much chance in that. Remember that was the greatest the show on turf or whatever. Yeah,
Marshall Falk.
And that was the one they got
Warner.
because then they lost 2 years later to that was when the Tom Brady run started.
That
in
might have been the greatest
2002.
Super Bowl finish ever. Like, because it was actually a completed pass and he was reaching for it. That might have been the greatest Super Bowl finish ever.
It was definitely a good one.
Do you remember?
We talked about earlier the Seahawks Patriots where they should have ran it in.
Yeah, but that was a defensive play. I like defensive plays. I think that's really cool. Was that the very last play of the game?
Yes, that was it.
I think the Patriots had to do a couple quarterback sneaks.
There might have been a couple seconds left. The next thing that comes to my mind, crazy enough, is Janet Jackson's boob.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
when T-Lane
crazy
ripped it
enough
off,
is I think about that when I think about Super Bowl moments, and that was a halftime moment. And you know what? I was outside getting some fresh air. I didn't even see it.
You missed it live.
I did not even see it. I told you I don't really watch them, but that's one I wish I would have saw. Of course, everybody's seen it now, but
after that started like the run of the really bad Super Bowl performances when they brought in like the Rolling Stones.
Come on, don't be dogging the Rolling Stones.
But they were a little out of their prime. And then you had like the Who, and then they kind of got a little more edgier after that. But we had a big run of just bad.
Yeah, because they said, "Oh shit, Janet Jackson, she out here showing her tits. We're gonna have to change this up. Get the old guys back in here." But yeah, weird enough. I always think of Janet Jackson's boob. Leon Lett, Janet Jackson's boob.
I always think of the. We talked about on the show before the Bud Bowl. I don't know why that always comes to my mind,
Dude,
but
Bud Bowl.
It was classic.
Yeah, it was.
Awesome,
you look forward to who's going to win, Budweiser.
They did it at halftime, right?
Yeah.
Was it at halftime?
Yeah, they would bet on that now. They would
Or
bet
was
on
it?
that.
Was it throughout the game?
No, it was throughout the game.
Yeah,
Was it throughout the game, wasn't it?
It was throughout the game, but then I think it concluded like at halftime.
Yeah, dude, the Bud Bowl was
And
cool.
help me with this one right here. And this might have been part of the Bud Bowl, but I remember something coming to my mind about the blimp. Remember was that part of the Bud Bowl and the blimp?
Maybe.
Speaking of a blimp, I had a big ass blow up Goodyear blimp back in, I don't know, sometime in the mid 90s. My uncle owned a bar and he had it for some promotion or something, but it was cool as shit. It was big as hell. Goodyear blimp. I didn't really notice, Anthony, until you kind of said the blowout thing, but there was really starting in the 90s.
That's always our childhood, dude.
Besides the Bills' very first Super Bowl to the Giants where they lost 20-19, they got beat by 13. They got beat by like 40. And then they got beat by 20.
The 49ers and Cowboys took over.
Yeah, 49ers blew out the Chargers. The Cowboys beat the Steelers by double digits. Packers beat the Patriots by 14. Broncos over the Packers by 7. That was like one of the closest ones we had in the 90s.
Yep.
Then the next year, the Broncos blow out the Falcons by 15, 16. Dude, there was a lot of games that were not super competitive.
Yeah, we've been lucky
in the
these
90s.
last 20 years.
Well, I think it's the parody of the NFL now. The way, look, like the NFL or not, the way they got it set up, call it scripted. I don't think, whether you call it that or not, I think it's more to do with the parody of the way it's set up is perfect right now. It really is. I hate to say it, but they got to figure it out.
Maybe next week we'll do maybe we can bring in like our favorite commercials or something. Give us a week to kind of look up.
That's another thing that I don't pay any attention to.
Do
you pay attention to the commercials during the game?
Not as much as I used to.
I don't
think they're as good as they used to be. I think they're a little overhyped. And now what I think kind of sucks is they usually release them now on the internet beforehand because they know.
Well, it used to be that the internet was what is big. And so now it's easier to advertise back then advertising was huge, and that was the biggest day where you knew millions of eyes was going to be on it.
They do movie trailers.
Yeah,
I used to actually enjoy the commercials, but I just don't pay attention to them.
Well, I don't think they're as big as thing as they used to be.
And I know I can go back and watch them later.
Yeah. I'm an old soul, and I told y'all my favorite one, and y'all laughed at it, and I get it, but so y'all don't want my opinion because my favorite one was the Ram.
Oh,
It was the old guy Paul
class.
Harvey. When God built the farmer. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
Yeah, when I think of Super Bowl commercials, I think of the Clydesdales. Really, both of the commercials that I think of are Budweiser commercials. The Clydesdales and the Frogs.
Here's
Budweiser.
Yeah.
Do they still do that one?
No,
I don't think they do. They need to bring that back.
Right. Here's a question. How much did Bud spend on their advertising budget for the year?
Billions. They spent billions.
They had the Bud Bowl, the Frog. I didn't even realize all this stuff. It's
the Clydesdales.
The Clydesdales.
I'm sure they benefited from it because they kept doing it over the years. I feel like Bud's still doing that right now. I feel like they have a lot of commercials. So I like the Clydesdales. I like the Frogs. Bring back the Frogs.
Yep.
What's your first thought when you just think commercial?
The Frogs is
what's your most
Bud Bowl. Bud Bowl.
The Bud Bowl.
Dude, I'm telling you, I used to love the freaking Bud Bowl.
No, I agree. I like the Bud Bowl too. All right, guys, y'all got anything else before we wrap this up? I know this is a fairly short episode, we'll be back strong next week with a preview of the Super Bowl. And again, we do have a little bit of a surprise next week for y'all.
No snacks this week. Sorry, guys.
We're going
home hungry.
But
somebody's cooking something upstairs. I can smell it.
I smell it too. But we are going to make up for the no snacks next week.
Guys, Nebraska, I'm going to just tell you this. I watched them. I played them a couple times. But if you ain't watched them, they're ballers. Nebraska is ballers, good. And they don't look like ballers.
Right before we hit record on this episode, Anthony said there ain't no athletes on Nebraska's team, and they are some fucking athletes.
Hey, listen, I'll say this. I like them. I've had them a few times. I knew they were good, but then right when it opened, it just like Michigan was so much longer and more athletic, and they were guarding the ball. Next thing you know, Nebraska's coming off picks, fading away, hitting threes.
What do they got? About an 8-point lead right now?
Yeah, and it's just they can't stop them.
Let's go. Guys, appreciate everybody listening. As always, check us out on all the social media platforms, Facebook, TikTok. Go on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you share with a friend. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. We'll catch you back next week. Guys, y'all good? Got anything?
Hey, give us feedback, guys. Let you know what you thought of our little segment of us just shooting the shit here. Give us feedback. Text us, email, hit the site. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. We're trying to make this better for you guys because we got a lot of loyal listeners out there, and we want to keep you.
Don't forget about blitzthebookie.com. It's got a spot to leave us reviews, to leave us a voice message. We're getting a couple in, but guys, leave us some voice messages. We'll play it on the air here on the episode. Keep checking us out, guys. We appreciate you. We'll catch you next week. Blitz the Bookie.
Guys, also buy silver, buy Drake May, baby. The two best investments out there right now. Blitz the Bookie. See y'all. Son, I got some silver, and I'm starting to think I'm gonna get rich off from it.
Shit. Hey, that gold hit like 5,100.
Yeah, that's all I got. We'll go.
Charlie got the mic, he's dropping facts all day. Anthony's like, nah, I got the better parlay. Argue about the spread, it's a fierce debate. But when it comes to Wildcats, they align their fate. Blitz the bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. Late nights, hustle deals on the line. Charlie Stats, he's gonna make you shine. Anthony's heart where the numbers combine. Put your cash down, ride the incline. Blitz the bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. From the tip off to the final play, they grind. Mike's on fire, bets on their minds. Arguing odds till the last rewind. Blue and white, it's a bond you'll find. The bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. play, they grind. Mics on fire, bets on their minds. Arguing us till the last rewind. Blue and white, it's a bond you'll find.